An individual lacking the capacity for empathy, akin to a flesh and bone automaton, might be described by some as being born that way. However, I believe that those making such claims often overlook the potential influence of upbringing on this process. Undeniably, our parents and environment play a pivotal role in cultivating and creating the foundation of our psychological state. Someone nurtured with the tenderness and care of parents will be open to close ones, expressing warmth and compassion. On the other hand, one whose parents were distant and cold, considering expressions of care too intimate, is likely to grow up into a person who will be limited in their emotions and lacking in compassion towards others. Along with this, such a person will behave this way because they were programmed to do so, and it's not necessarily dictated solely by childhood. As you already understand, traumatic events can also have a significant impact on the formation of established beliefs, attitudes, and behavior, even in adulthood. Confronting trauma usually leads a person to develop what I call a protective bias. In certain circumstances, when you've encountered a traumatic event, you are likely to develop a whole system of beliefs and behavior patterns that will completely separate you from everything closely related or associated with this event. For instance, if you nearly drowned at sea, it's quite possible that in the future, you will avoid even taking a bath. If you have experienced a severe burn, you become quite cautious with easily flammable materials and may even rid yourself of anything related to fire, including matches. This is just part of our survival instincts and a natural defense mechanism. Our intense emotional reactions, which we experience during critical traumatic events, are so strong that they literally implant in us a defensive response. Similarly, if a person is abruptly deprived of care, warmth, and closeness, or worse, is betrayed, the probability that they will develop alienated behavior aimed at avoiding deep connections with others in the future is quite high. This can lead to an avoidant attachment syndrome, where a person suddenly distances themselves, feeling that they are becoming too close or friendly with someone, and shies away from expressing their emotions or showing any kind of empathy and care. Such a person could be, for example, someone who was very close to their parents, spent a lot of time with them, and then they suddenly died in a terrible accident. Or, for instance, a person who developed strong ties and friendship with a friend or partner, and then was betrayed or deceived. While not all people necessarily become emotionally shut off due to these traumas, some may feel anger and a desire for revenge, blaming everyone who is associated with their misfortunes, or in other words, develop a victim mentality. Despite the fact that a person with a ruthless heart seems to despise and reject attachment and closeness, they in fact desire sincere and deep attachment the most. Of course, they won't admit it, but it will nonetheless linger deep in their consciousness. Beneath this constantly stoic, serious, and insensitive facade, there's a person who is still healing their wounds and seeking answers, just like everyone else. We can't completely reject our nature to satisfy our social needs for love. Even those who can't understand their feelings require sufficient physical contact and attachment, otherwise they simply die. Nevertheless, for such a broken individual, it will take a lot of time, persuasion, wisdom, and above all, answers to unresolved personal questions to accept this part of their humanity again, because, as we all know, pain is a great teacher, and the stronger the pain, the clearer the horrific memories, and the stronger the resolve. Once again, thank you for watching. This was the Chroni Corner channel. Many thanks to everyone for your views, likes, comments, and shares. All the best.